Hey everyone, it's Travis and Kathy from Mobile, Alabama, and we have made the painful decision to put our beloved Trailmanor 3023 up for sale. It has served us well for a number of years. We've made many trips out to Montana and back to Lower Alabama in it, and actually well over 40,000 miles total. But a lot of modifications, but just want you to take a quick look at it.
Yes.
Hey everyone, we're going to do a quick walk around of our 3023, and if you're familiar with the Trailmanor series of campers, then you probably don't even need to be watching this video. But in case you don't know about Trailmanor or you're truly interested, let's get this going. It's going to be a long video, but it's going to have a lot of information in it for someone who would be interested in buying. All right, so we're at the back of the camper, and this is the outside storage, and this is where the new Mossworth 100 amp lithium iron phosphate battery is located. Also have 1200 2400 watt inverter that mounts above it, and down below here is a 60 amp breaker. Looking down into the bottom here, this is a dedicated power switch. This kills the power between the battery and the coach, so it shuts everything down. And I mounted it here so that if you have the camper closed, you can still slip the bumper cover out that goes here. You can slip it out of the way and actually turn this on or off. So that's good for storage. It allows you to hook up your cable and do some charging. This is the 110 volt input line that feeds the inverter, the output line. So to connect the inverter, you would connect this to the 30 amp power supply, okay, the shore power line, and with an adapter, and that then provides power from the inverter to the coach. This is the original handle for the stabilizer jacks. Now, you will notice that on the stabilizer jacks, we've got 3/4 inch nuts welded to the end. This allows you to use your drill driver or nut driver with the common 3/4 inch adapter or socket for raising and lowering those. That makes it much easier. So on our tires are 225/75/15s. They are Goodyear Endurance, and I believe the date tag on those are 15 of 22. All right, going on around our steps, nice and neat. This is a magnetic door catch. I like that a whole lot better than doing this, so that when you open the door, it holds it in place. Much better. Also here, this is the factory magazine rack, but up above it, we've mounted 2 of these, and this is a shoe rack, so you would stick the toe of your shoe down in there and it would hold it in place. That worked out really well for getting our shoes off the floor. Also here, you notice this. I installed that strap, and the advantage there is for opening or closing the door, you can reach out, give it a pull, and it gives you a nice easy handle for getting the door back around. Okay? Is that we have a yellow cob LED light across the top. Now there's 2 regular lights outside. Both of those still work, but I can switch them on and off, and all of it is controlled from a single switch on the inside. But we really like the yellow, especially when you're camping where you got a lot of bugs and stuff. That really helps. Underneath and right here, this is an LP outlet quick disconnect fitting. and I install that. That ties into the copper line. It has an on-off valve on it, so that will allow you to hook up your propane stove or your what's it called, Blackstone, or your fire pit or whatever. This is the assembly that holds the spare tire in place. Spare tire was new with the other tires, never been on the ground. Looking right up here, this is the outlet where the diesel heater, that's the exhaust for it, and then this tube is actually the air intake, and all this is about combustion. And this runs under the front end and exits out the left side. You can notice here, this is a tube that's mounted, and this is where you can store your sewer hose. Makes it nice and neat like that. This is a toolbox mounted on the front, and this is the fuel can for the diesel heater, and it's set up so there's enough line that you can take and sit it out when you're wanting to fill the can, so you don't have to fill it with it in there. Continuing forward, electric jack on the tongue, simple up and down. Okay. The two propane tanks were manufactured in 2021, and remember, those have a 12-year service life before they need to be discontinued or recertified. No leaks on any of that. Okay, up here on the front, this is the full cover, and it opens up and closes here. This is a strap that we attach to the front. That's just a little bungee cord holding it up, and that's so if it's just one person opening the camper by themselves, when it's closed, it gives you the ability to reach down behind the toolbox for lifting the camper, the front of the camper up. So that makes it much easier. All right, coming down the side, this is freshwater fill for the 40-gallon freshwater tank. That tank is inside and underneath the sleeper sofa. This is city water fill. Obviously, that's your propane furnace. Down here, this is the vent for the freshwater tank, as well as the freshwater tank drain, and then just another drain for the water pump. This is set up so that you can connect a water hose here, open this valve, and where this would come into play would be when the camper is closed. Because when the camper is closed, you do not have access to the water fill. So in those occasions where you want to fill your water tank or add water and it's closed, it's not practical to open it up to add water, you simply reach under here, connect your hose, open that valve, keep an eye out for this, and as soon as you see water coming out of that, you got 40 gallons of water on board. So this is the two factory vents for the refrigerator, and remember, this has the 12-volt compressor driven refrigerator, but these vents still need to be opened to get the heat out. That's a coax cable fitting there. This is your outside light, and I have a new light to replace this one. This is the water heater. It's a 6-gallon, it's gas and electric, and inside we installed a switch to be able to turn the electric part on and off. This is the anode rod, and I've got it out right now because basically we are winterized. So coming on down, looking under here, this is the outlet tube for the vent on the toilet. This is a cage that I built to protect all the plumbing in case there was a tire blowout or road debris or something got slung up. So this is for your toilet, this is for your gray water. Really nice knowing that all that stuff's protected. Okay, this power plug here on this looks like an extension cord. that goes to heated cabling. So it provides heat around these fittings, also around your water fitting here for the drain, and also heats the bottom of the gray tank. This is the shower, outside shower. This is where the power cable originally came out. We do not use that. That's just a pain. It's pushing the cable right inside this bin, which we looked at just a moment ago. So we just coil the cable up, put it inside. It's much easier, much easier. And what Miss Kathy just pointed to here, thank you. This is 15 amp inlet, so that you can take a regular 15 amp extension cord. You're at your campsite, you can plug in your extension cord into the pedestal and plug it in here. This goes to a dedicated line. This goes to a dedicated line inside, close to the stove. And we use this strictly for running an electric heater in the wintertime. That way, that electric heater is not being fed off of the 30 amp dedicated line for the camper. It just makes it safer and easier. Yes, Miss Kathy just pointed out to me. Also on the back, we've got the rear view camera up top, and that comes with the monitor screen that you mount inside the vehicle. Also, it's got LED lights for everything. Those work out really well, brake, turn, and tail. You'll notice another one of our little straps that we have here. Again, if you're doing it by yourself, that gives you a nice easy handle for lifting up the rear housing. This is the bumper cover that goes over the bumper. It's in good shape, no problems there. Okay, I want to show you a couple of features inside, and we're right now talking about electricity, AC current, like shore power, and DC current off the battery. And so just looking at where I'm at, here's the stove, and to this side over here is the kitchen and the refrigerator, and Miss Kathy is sitting on the sofa. But this is what I want to look at here. And this is the original outlet for the TV and the amplifier and all that useless stuff. I installed this, and it's a monitoring panel for the battery for the 12 volts. So I'm going to turn it on, and it will read us our battery voltage, currently 14.7. It's usually 14.6, but we just turned some stuff on. So I put an on-off switch on it so that it would kill everything on the panel here, and also to cut down on lights at night. This is a 12 volt outlet where you can plug in your whatever 12 volt appliance or accessory you may have. This is 2 USB outlets, and this would be like for charging phones and other devices. And they are rated up to 3 amp each, so they will support high charging or fast charging. But anyway, I always like to know what my battery is doing. I'll shut that off. All right, we're going to come around here, and we are now looking at underneath the sink, and going to start down here. We have an installed outlet here. This is a for the TV cable, and this was actually factory installed. But I installed this monitor, excuse me, and this monitor reads the AC voltage, alternating current, and that's from shore power. 125 volts is what I have currently, and right now I have 0 amperage output. Okay, and I like to keep up with this because I know at a glance what the amperage draw is on my 30 amp service. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have the lovely Miss Kathy turn on the heater, and we do have a heater that we installed in there. Hold off on that one, Kathy. So right now, with just the fan running, you can see that we're now pulling 3 amps of current. Okay, she's going to turn the thermostat on up, and that will actually engage the furnace or the heater, the electric heater. We're now drawing 19 amps. So this is a good way to monitor what you're doing. And the longer that runs, that amp draw will come down as it runs. It won't continue to run at 19 amps, but she's already switched it off up top. But anyway, this gives you a easy idea what you have. Okay, to the right of this is for the inverter. Allows me to turn the inverter in and off, and we'll talk more about that when we're out back looking at the battery. This is the systems monitor, water heater to turn the gas part of the water heater on, turn the water pump on, and the refrigerator fan. Got this wired a certain way, and then system test, which shows everything here. This is an upgraded thermostat that we had installed, and I've done this on my previous Trailmanor. Also done this on a number of the other campers that we've owned over the years. I don't like the little analog thermostats. So this is going to tell me what my room temperature is, and if I turn it to heat and turn it on, it will now give me a set temperature, so I can set it to whatever I'm wanting. Okay, so that just gives you exact control over the LP floor furnace. Okay. Inside this cabinet, I've installed a switch here for the electric water heater, and right now my system has no water in it at all, so I've got to keep that off. But this allows me to turn the water heater on and off. This is the back of the water heater here. It allows me to turn the electric side of the water heater on and off at the flick of a switch. And again, also up here, I can turn the gas portion of the water heater on as well. So again, when you turn this on, it will be showing the amperage that it's drawing up here. Again, makes it nice to know exactly what you've got going on. What you're looking at here is the end of a little extension cord, and you can see the 2 little outlets on top. So let me show you how all this goes together. Before we raise this up and put it in position, this is just a shelf. This I actually come off of a boat, and that would drop into position right there. What that does, that gives you a little shelf by the head of the bed so that you got a place for your cell phone or your whatever. So anyway, I'm going to raise this up. So this is now in position. Now, if you notice here, there's another green cable coming up. Remember the end of the extension cord that I showed you? This is it here. So this plugs into this outlet right down here. Okay, it's going to plug in there. And what this does, this allows me an outlet back here by the head of the bed, so you can plug in charger if you wanted. You could also plug in your electric blanket, or in our case we used a heated mattress pad. So that just gives you electricity back here without having to string an extension cord somewhere. So very easy to work with. The other thing, if you're looking down here, is that we've got a little short 2-headed extension cord here. And And we did this so that when the drawer assembly is in place here, we will still have receptacles to plug in coffee maker, microwave, this sort of stuff. Now, this cable goes to the outside to a 15 amp inlet. So you would run an extension cord from the power meter, the power box, and plug it in there. That gives a dedicated 15 amp service coming inside here, and we use this specifically for an electric heater. That way it did not tax the 30 amp service that we have on the camper. So once that's up, this slides into place. Okay. And you can see that we have the plug here for an electric heater, and also our two plugs here, which are running off of the 30 amp service in the camper. If you're familiar with the Trailmanor, you already know about the two cabinets that hang on the wall. And this is the sink cabinet. This is the cabinet that goes over the stove. Now, Trailmanor does a great job of building these cabinets. They build them strong and extremely light. And you can see the two hooks on the back, okay? And those two hooks drop in to two little receivers up here. Now, in these cabinets, we don't load them down with heavy stuff. We have a lot of things in them, but we try to keep it light simply because you have to lift them and put them up on the wall. So this is the big cabinet. And it's going to hang right up here, the same type system. Now what we do, I built just a very simple bungee cord system to hold 2 rolls of paper towels. I love the blue shop towels because you can use them like a dish rag. They dry extremely well. And I put these here because this is lightweight. There's nothing there that can fail or break. And the good thing is it doesn't come unraveled if you're going down the road. So let me hang this up. And that's in place. Now you can see here that there's a bungee cord there, there's a bungee cord there. There's also a bungee cord right here. And this was what we had put in place because we have a lid that fit there, we have a lid that fit there, we have a cutting board that slid in up here, and that bungee cord held it in place. That may not be applicable for you, but they're there. Hey everyone, that's the thermostat controller for the diesel heater. And I'm sitting right next to the return air grill and the primary outlet for the heater. You can see the other outlet that is there. It has a lot lower airflow than the main one does. This is the LP furnace, and I just want to give you an example. Now I don't even know if you can hear it or not, but the diesel heater is on and it is running at its lowest fan speed, but I want you to hear the difference. I'm going to turn on the LP furnace because I think it's just worth hearing the difference between the two. Okay, so now that's the LP furnace that you hear running. Okay, the LP furnace is now back off, and I have turned the diesel heater up to its highest fan speed. And current temperature down below coming out of the heater is 192 degrees, and all that's fine. anywhere between about 190 and 215. All good, just depends on how you have it set. Okay, we are at the rear closet, and something that you see across the entrance here are two bungee cords. They're attached on this side, and the reason these are here so that if you're hanging clothes on the clothes rod, it just helps to keep them nice and tidy so that they're not hanging out here, because this is a rather shallow cabinet. And these just hook over two little screw heads in the back. Okay, so that's very simple and easy to work with. The other thing that I have in place is this bungee cord, and it's mounted on this end, and there's a hook down here. You may not be able to see the hook, but when you have your clothes hanging, all of your clothes slide forward. This wraps around the rod and you connect it to that hook, and what it does, it holds all of the clothes tight to the rod, because remember, this lays down when you're traveling, and that just prevents your clothes from getting all out of sorts. Now, this is also where we store the TV, and this cabinet is notched to accommodate this. And if you'll notice these two rails here, okay, there's two of them. That's the mount, and we'll show you that in just a moment. So to get the TV out, you lift just a little bit, and it pulls right out. So your clothes, you would just push them to the other side, and once you're used to doing it, it's not a big deal. So people do all sorts of things for a television in a Trailmanor. I've seen some pretty neat ideas. I've seen some that just boggle my mind because they don't work well. So we enjoy watching a little TV at night. So this is a 40-inch TV, and if you wonder what this is actually a set of drawer guides like you would have on a pull-out drawer, and this is the matching piece here. So when you're ready to put the TV up, you basically align these two with this, and I'll try to give you the quick demonstration on it. So our TV is up, and we're ready to watch TV. We can pull it out, okay? So it makes it easy to see, but if we're not watching TV, we can then just slide it back out of the way, and it plugs in right down here, and that will just lay behind there. So this makes for a very neat system, and if you're sitting up here on the sofa, or the full hide-to-bed sofa, or the second sofa, it just makes it easy to watch TV. So whenever you're ready to take it down, you're finished, you're closing things up for travel, basically just put your hand on it, unplug it, obviously. Okay, and we're just going to pull it out, put a hand under the bottom to support it, pull it all the way out, and our TV is now ready to go in its little home right here. So that's going inside. And just like lots of other things, about the third time you do that, it's simple and easy. You learn the routine for it. First time's a little awkward. After that, it just gets better. Thanks. Okay, we finally got tired of the original Norcold 300N refrigerator that was here, and upgraded to an Everchill, and this is a 12-volt compressor driven refrigerator and small freezer compartment. Okay, it is a small freezer compartment, but it's nice to know that whatever you put up in there, it's going to be frozen. Simple controls here, and again, all this runs off of 12 volts, so when you're boondocking It does extremely well. It's got pull-out drawer in the bottom. The other thing that we did, so it comes with the little flip-out protectors to keep things from falling out, but we installed the little bungee cords here so that we could utilize these, put in a center shelf here, and that's a high-density poly something, plastic board, and also one here. This made all of this much more usable, and just the space worked out well. Now, when the compressor turns on, it has two fans in the back that blow cooling air on each side of this unit. That helps to evacuate the heat out. The other thing you have here is the original factory switch for the refrigerator fan, and this was primarily used when you had the system closed. You've had the roof closed, you're dragging it down the road. But even though I've got this system in, when we're traveling, I always turn the refrigerator fan on, which works independently from the two fans that are tied to the compressor. So again, modifications there, trimmed out the opening so that it looks nicer. The other thing we did, we added just a little bungee safety hook here so that it can't flop open while you're going down the road. This is the 3-burner Atwood stove. It has spark ignition for all 3 burners. Now, as is typical with all of these, for the oven, if you're going to light the oven, you have to turn this and hold it down and light the little pilot light back there. Very easy to light. We use this a lot. We do a lot of cooking, but we've always kept it clean and nice and neat, and you can just see from looking inside that it's clean. But it works well. This is looking at the Rv'er queen bed. Now, something that we did, we took the original curtain down that was here, and we did the same thing to the curtain up front that closes off the front bedroom. We used a polar fleece material and made a curtain out of that. Remember, the bathroom wall will be here. And the reason we did this material provides really good insulation. Okay? So it's good for separating the bedroom from the rest of the camper. So if you're trying to keep the camper cold and the air condition running, there's no need in trying to cool off this bed area. This helps to provide good protection for that.
Show them underneath the bed what you did. No?
Oh!
Under there.
Thank you.
Here.
That's fine.
Okay, you can cut it out.
The other thing that we did, if you raise this up, you can see that we have got a layer of reflectix underneath the bed and all 3 sides. This makes a huge difference in keeping this area warm or cool, because otherwise you're just laying on a sheet of plywood with a layer of fiberglass or a plastic coating that's on there. That layer of reflectix made a huge difference in temperature comfort back here. Good stuff. Okay, let's look at the bathroom. And again, those people who are familiar with Trailmanors, you know, this is just business as usual. But the way this works is you lift a little bit from this end and pull out just that little bit. From there, you lift this up. And when it comes up all the way, you're going to push this in till that's flush. You now continue to hold it and you sit this, the top door, on top of the bottom door, and there's a latch, and you can see that I latch the latch. So that holds the front wall into place. Now we're going to raise up the rear wall, and this is 2 panels that's hinged together. So we're going to grab it in the middle. We're going to raise it up, and once we raise it up all the way, we're going to bring this around. That locks into place there, and there's another one of those latches right up here. Fumble fingers. So that gets latched into position. Now, we added all of these little coat hooks here. Okay? Most of the time when people see that, they think that's a bit excessive. But it's quite impressive when you have things that you need to hang up. So you take off your shirt, you take off your pants, you need to hang a towel, you have undies, you have socks, you have whatever. You've got plenty of room to hang them here without having to have some mechanical device that hooks over the top. Fewer pieces to work with. Okay. Inside the bathroom, it's the corner shower and tub, and when we set all this up and did modifications to it, this and that are attached to the walls. They're attached at the top. They go all the way down. So what we do at this point, we're going to pull our shower curtain in and pull that around. And if you'll notice here in the sink, we have a number of items. Going to pull this out. That's a magnet. So here's what we're going to do. You can see this plate that I installed here, and that's a magnetic receiver for that. So the bottom of this needs to line up just above this little plastic piece here to hold it in place. That's just for positioning. So the way this works is this comes up. You drop that into place like that. The first time you do it, it's awkward. About the third time you do it, it's just business. It normally takes us just a matter of seconds to put all this together. Then this comes up, that comes over, and that holds it there. So what you end up with is a completely enclosed shower where water can't get out. Water doesn't go over the top. Okay? It's compared to the way it was set up originally from Trailmanor, which was horrible. This works, and it's simple. Now, on the shower curtain, it's modified so that it's shaped appropriately, and it's also weighted. So when I sewed all this up, it's got marbles in the bottom. So that helps to hold everything in place. Again, no leaks when you're taking a shower. So this is the throne. This is a level gauge that tells you how much you have in your tank. This is an on-off valve that's installed, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. This is the button that you push to operate the flushing of the toilet. Now, down here on the floor, there's supposed to be a pull handle here. That's so that you can open, grab a handle, just like you do on a sewer dump. You would grab that handle and pull it out. That dumps the toilet. And then when you're done, you push it in. The handle broke off. And been using this now for 2 years with the handle missing. And I have a new valve and handle and everything that comes with it. It's included. It's inside this cabinet here. But we have chosen not to put it in, because to install it, you have to remove the toilet. So what I've got is a small string and you pull that string out, that dumps, and you can take and push that right back in, and it closes it up. So for now, that works. So what is all this business about here? This is a powered vent system, and I developed this on our other Trailmanor years ago. But when I built this one, I made modifications to it. So inside here is a 2-inch fan, and it is blowing air in this direction, and that blows it outside. So it's pulling fumes out of the tank, up and out. And so people ask, well, is it going to stink outside while you're, doing that? Well, seldom ever are you sitting right out there. But we have done that to watch a sunset. And one time we did notice an odor, so we moved our chairs about 2 feet and never smelled an odor again. So don't worry about an odor. It's not going to be something you'll ever know anything about. This is an on-off valve, okay? So when you're going to turn this on, and the switch for that is right here, that turns on the little fan in here. I can hear it running. But when you're going down the road and you're traveling, you want to close this, because if your tank is full and it sloshes and it happens to slosh up, you could get liquid up here and into your fan and dripping out. You don't want that. So when you're traveling, close this. When you get to your destination, open it, turn on the little switch, and all is good to go. Okay. This switch is for the big fan, which you can hear it running, and that's located down here on the side of the tub enclosure, and that vents to the outside. So that's what you would use while you're taking a shower and you're just trying to get steam out. For me, it's also good because it makes good noise, and a lot of times we'll run that at night as our noise generator. So all good. LED overhead lights. This always rides here, and this is a fold out shelving unit that we use, and it's very simple to set up. Basically just like this. That folds down, this drops into place, and then this is going to sit right here, and it's designed so that it can slide neatly and tightly back into the corner. And then this is also where we sit our microwave, and our microwave would plug into one of the black receptacles here. Our electric heater we always set in this spot here, blowing outward. This gives a lot more storage space here for other things, bread, your bottle of wine, your whatever. You also have space overhead. So it really helped to utilize this space, and it's easy to set up. Now, when we're ready to start closing things up, and I have already taken our folding shelf assembly and folded it up and set it on the floor where it travels. So we're going to take the microwave and sit here. And if you notice, the microwave has a carry strap on it. This is something that I added, so it gives the opportunity to lift this up with one hand. Just everything to make life easier. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is remove this, and while I'm working I would normally sit it here, but so that you can see a little better, I'm just going to move it up here out of the way. So once we're down to this point here, if we've used this, we've put it up, the next step is breaking down the bathroom.
All right, so what do you do with the toilet when you're shutting down?
Okay, the first thing we're going to do is close this, and we're going to pretend that we've already dumped. And remember that if you're not dumping at your site, you want to go ahead and open that valve at the bottom, pull that out so that it's open. That allows you to open the valve outside so that it can drain. And from here forth, Kathy will talk to us. I'm going to do this in real time.
All right, we're watching him do in reverse what he did. Go in the other direction, puts everything in the sink for good storage. Takes a shower curtain, throws it over the back wall. All right, there's not a lot of room in there to have us both, so then he undoes the latch on that side and undoes the latch here. And then he folds his wall in and folds it down, and you see the light went out whenever he folded down. That's the safety feature that turns the lights off when you start folding up, and there's a switch
is there
right there. Let me back out of the way. All right, now he unlatches the door to separate that, pulls out, folds down, and then pushes in a little bit. Viola. Bathroom is done. All right, next is bringing the closet down. Slide that out. Swivel down. It's got a handle on the end. Takes this little shelf off. The sinks are good storage places for those type of things. And then we usually just put the microwave down there by the top of the closet. Save storage. Now we move to the cabinets. Big one first. And sometimes with stuff in it, I help him because it does get a little heavy. But since I'm videoing, he gets to do it by himself. And they fit pretty nicely there. The large one on that side. And then the smaller one comes next. And when we're folding up, we'll take our little insulating pieces and work them in different places. And of course, everything has to be down low. When the top goes down, everything has to be below the side wall here. So the sofa backs go down.
That's when we're going to lift these up.
Yeah. Yep, they Velcro like this.
And originally this system used these Velcro to hold everything up.
And they're a little weak now.
And what we did, I replaced a lot of that. This is just a little tiny bungee cord. It hangs right there. There's another one right up here that hooks there. So that holds all that up in place.
And you can see the openings we were telling you about where we put the insulating
They
pieces.
slide right up in here. This side is done the same way. Normally before you pull your wall cabinets down, you would flip all of those up on both sides so you don't have stuff in the way.
And those backs just lay down.
And you drop down. And we're getting mighty close.
At this point, the inside is ready for closing.
Except for that flap.
Except for the flaps, yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Travis. If you're looking at our Trailmanor 3023 with the thoughts of purchasing it, let me show you a couple of more things. And these, you'll see these in the videos, but these are just normal wear points that most all of the Trailmanors have. And that's where the shells meet when they're closed and you get a little dust off the road that gets up on it, and it just creates a wear point in between the seal and the inside aluminum finish. Now this is looking towards the back. That's in the bathroom, and then that's the other area back there. This is on the right hand side. You can see the same little spot, and that's just basically where over time and miles you get that little dust up in there if you're going down dirt roads or just a real dirty road, and it gets up, and eventually if it will get between the rubber seals, these seals that you see here, okay, because that seal is going to be pressing, and it just over time wears the paint off. A lot of people will paint these, they'll put other type of wood panels up, but remember that all of these walls are aluminum, okay? And even though this is a wood panel, there's also aluminum behind it. It just makes a decorative panel. But just wanted you to know about it. Okay, so basically everything is now ready for transport. Everything's down, bathroom's down. As you look here, there's nothing above this level. The sink is fine, that's there. We want to take and make sure that we put our little safety latch on our refrigerator. We want to make sure the water heater and the water pump are off, and we want to turn on the refrigerator fan. That allows it to vent better to the outside to get rid of heat while it's cooling. Okay?
All right. Since we're not actually pulling it, we can turn that off.
Back off. Everything's off here, up overhead.
Oh, let me.
Our vent is closed. Okay?
All right.
Now, the other thing that you do.
All right, see everything in the back, or actually that's the front. That just gives you an
So we're
idea
getting
what to do
ready to
first.
open the camper back up. Obviously, we just closed it. Your 4 latches need to be open. Those are your travel latches. And Miss Kathy's ready on her side. And what we're going to do is release this latch forward, and I always just push it with my foot. Ready? Notice the top hops up. Now, we both grab the corner, and up we come. Now again, if it were windy, depending on the direction of the wind, we would go ahead and put the safety lock in place. But because we're not dealing with wind, and it does make everything easier since it allows the top section to move while you're raising the rear. Same thing, we've got a latch that's right here. We'll push that aft. Kathy, you ready? And we give it a little shake.
I'm all good.
And you ready to go up?
I'm ready.
All right. And from here, we will latch the safety latches.
I'm good.
Latch the safety latch up here on the front, which is on this corner here. Kathy gets hers.
All good.
And I get mine. Now it's just simply a matter of pulling the beds out, setting everything up on the inside. Okay. So we are getting ready to lower the Trailmanor 3023 and realize that it takes a whole lot longer trying to explain this to somebody and show it than it does for us to just do it. But we're going to work through that. Miss Kathy, are you ready?
I am.
All right. The first thing we're going to do is slide the bed in. Miss Kathy's got that. She's sliding the bed in. Okay. go around and get on my side. Okay, this is the front bedroom, and just going to show you what all's involved in closing up the front bedroom. And it's the same as the rear bedroom. Once you have the inside clear and ready, just push it in. Okay, we're getting ready to close everything up. So I'm gonna fold the step in. I'm going to disconnect the two doors. And something that a lot of people don't do on a Trailmanor is this flap right here. You really need to lift that flap up so that it lays out flat as it goes in. All right, that's secure. Okay, now we're ready to drop the tops down. So let's go catch that. Okay.
All right, we're
Let's see.
getting ready to fold down the top. We've already checked along the sides to make sure everything's in its place there. Now we get ready to start putting the top down.
Okay, first thing we'll do is come up to the front. Now there are different methods for doing this, but we found that we like to release the safety latches first. Now if the wind was blowing really hard from the front where it may push this back, we would not do it in this order. All right, now we'll go to the back. And we're going to release the back safety latch. And all that safety latch does, it prevents the top from closing accidentally. All right, Miss Kathy, are you clear on your side?
I am clear.
All right, let's drop her down. Now we do everything together, so this is a two-person here. We just give it a little shove, then we pull down. Okay, Kathy will be around on her side. You got a foothold here. And whenever she's got it latched, she'll tap twice. All right, I heard her tap twice. She does that so we don't have to yell. That just acknowledges that her side is latched. My side is latched. We now come to the front. Now, a lot of people get really worried about this spacing in here because of these two things, but it's not a problem at all. Are you ready, Miss Kathy?
I'm ready.
All right. Gentle push. Down it goes. Front end's down. There. I'll be listening for Miss Kathy's knock.
All good?
Clear?
Clear.
Now, we always make sure that the latches have caught here. The next thing we would do would be to put the travel locks on, and it's ready to go. I think I pretty much covered everything, and thank you for taking time to watch the video. And if you have any specific questions, please feel free to ask. We've used this a lot. We've enjoyed it. This is our second Trailmanor, but we're selling it because we needed something that fits our current camping needs a little better. Well, we don't need 2 queen-size beds anymore. So in a way, I guess we're sort of downsizing on that. But we will miss this. But again, if you have questions, give us a shout. Thank you so much.